Hello guys and welcome to another video. So hopefully you've noticed the setup is kind of different, and that is because today I'm going to be talking about Percy Jackson and popular opinions. So I wanted to be comfy and do it sitting on the ground because that's much more comfortable than how I usually film. So honestly, I didn't plan on making this video today. I didn't plan it at all. I asked you guys to tell me your bookish and popular opinions, and so many of you guys commented Percy Jackson related unpopular opinions that I just had to do a different video to discuss them. So here it is. You guys are so persistent that you made me have to film a separate video to answer all of your questions. Honestly, and I have to say, this is the 5th video that I'm filming today in a row. So if I go a little crazy, you know the reason. So without further ado, let's just get into it because I know there's some juicy ones in here. So get ready for some conflict. And disclaimer, everything is your opinion. That's fine, you're entitled to your own opinion and there's no right or wrong way about it. But if I say it's right or it's wrong, it's just for humor. Obviously it's your opinion, it's subjective, especially with books, so it's fine. But I'm still gonna tell you if you're right or wrong, so let's get on with it. I have a better setup for my computer today with a little stool so you guys don't get secondhand anxiety from watching me hold it all video. So let's get started with some bookish Percy Jackson related unpopular opinions. Let's go. Okay, so I didn't even have to scroll down a lot to get to the first one. And this is a common one that I've gotten a lot. Apparently a lot of people like Rachel. So we have Rachel is a pretty cool character and doesn't deserve the hate she gets from some fans because of the past per Rachel thing. And to that I say, I agree, you're right, but not like 100%. I don't know if Rachel is such a cool character, but I do think that she 100% doesn't deserve the hate she gets for being a part of per Rachel. Honestly, if anything, Percy deserves the hate because he's the one that had to choose between Rachel and Annabeth. Rachel was just there, so what was she gonna do, not fall in love with Percy? Like, do you think if you were in that situation, you honestly wouldn't have fallen for him? Because we all know we would have, like all of us, so I don't get why she gets hate for just being one of us. And then we have Will Solis is more than just Nico's boyfriend or mental crouch. He has his own character and is already amazing, plus he deserves more recognition outside Solangelo and just by being his own character. I think this is kind of true, but at the same time, I think that we haven't really gotten to see enough of Will on his own without Nico in order to really back this claim. I feel like the only thing we saw from Will by himself is when he saved Annabeth in the 5th book and when he did the introductory tour for Leo in the 1st book, The Lost Hero. So I honestly wish we could have gotten to see more from him because I love him as a character. But in truth, the more we see of him, the most we've seen of him is with Nico. So it's really hard to separate the two. And I wish we were given opportunities to. It's just that he's always there. You know, recently, they've always come in a pack. So I can't really say if you're right or wrong. Then we have sure, look, died a hero. Doesn't make him likable though, especially after what he did to Annabeth and the broken promises he's made. I agree, but not 100%. I don't think he died a hero. I think he died an anti-hero. Which is not the same thing, because you can't do the things Luke did and die a hero. I'm sorry for all of you Luke fans. I like him as a character, but I don't like him as a person. He is definitely not a good person. You don't betray the friend you've had for years that easily if you are a good person. So yeah, the thing he did to Annabeth and Talia is unforgivable. He tricked Annabeth into holding the weight of the world for him. So no, I don't like Luke as a person. He is a good character though. Then we have, I cannot forgive Percy for strangling Nico in The Last Olympian because Nico made it pretty clear that he didn't know of Hades' plan, and for wanting to strangle Nico in Son of Neptune even though he knew Nico was captured by Gaia. I mean, it's not Nico's fault that he can't interfere with Hera's plan just so he can tell Percy he recognized him. And this one I say, I can't agree or disagree because I don't remember, so... Okay, so Nico's heart was probably in a good place, at least in the first one of these. But, I mean, if you get trapped by the god of the underworld in the underworld, I think that Percy's reaction was justifiable because he did think that he had tricked him. He couldn't know if Nico was telling the truth or not, honestly. So it seems like he had his reasons. And then in The Son of Neptune, there was a lot of pent-up aggression, so I can justify it as well. Is my bias towards Percy showing? Maybe, but also the fact that I haven't read them in a while, so I don't know. Cleo, though, started with Leo's I Swear to the River Styx, sweet and heartwarming gesture, should have more development because it felt rushed. I 100% agree with you. You are very right. You get an award for being so right. Okay, so everyone knows that I'm a Cleo hater, but not really. I'm just like a Cleo not understander. I wish that Leo's arc had been completed and it had been about self-love. I wish he had fallen on that island, met her, learned to love himself, and they had been friends. Because there's nothing wrong with a guy and a girl who are single being friends, okay? Please, Rick, allow this to happen. And in my dream world, he would have gone back for Calypso after telling his friends that he survived, and then they would have gone back to the real world and they would have been friends together at Camp Half-Blood. And then after Leo had found himself and Calypso had found out who she was outside that island, they could have fallen in love, and I would have been completely fine with that because it would have been a love story that would have been really good because he rescued her and then they both found themselves before finding each other. That would have been fine. But the way it was done, it was not fine. So no, I agree. Reyna and Nico helped as much as the Seven of the Prophecy did in Heroes of Olympus and deserved more applaud, especially after delivering the Athena statue halfway across the world. I don't think they helped as much because honestly, Annabeth literally fell into the depths of hell to get that statue, but I do think they helped and they might have deserved more recognition, but I don't think they helped as much. It was just one quest and the others did so many quests, but they did help out and they deserve the recognition. Frazel is underrated both individually and as a couple. I could understand how Frank and Hazel are underrated as characters because they're usually not people's favorites. They're not my favorites, so I wouldn't be able to tell. But I don't think they're underrated as a couple, so I'm sorry. You're wrong. Okay, I hate it when you guys start with "don't hate me, please." Like, these are your opinions. I'm not gonna hate you for them. Like, just how I hope you guys don't hate me for these videos when I tell you guys my actual opinions. Because sometimes I'm like scared to say I don't ship things or that I ship things or that I don't like certain characters. But I hope we have created an atmosphere and a place of respect where even though we don't agree with each other's opinions, we can still respect them. So please don't feel the need to start a comment with "don't hate me, please." But I just can't get myself to ship Thena, so that's Talia and Reyna. I get it, I'm sure they're very cute, but Talia shouldn't be with anyone in my mind. There are so few characters that could be canonically ace like me, and I want to grab any representation I can, whether it's been stated in canon or not. Plus, I really think Talia doesn't need anyone romantically, if that makes sense. I don't hate on Thena shippers, you just can't join, you guys. Honestly, it's a respectable comment, but I do feel the need to make this distinction just because either of them are asexual, and I don't know if it's just Reyna or if it's also Talia. I don't know if that's super clear because it's never been stated in the books. Rick just confirms it on Twitter. But you can be asexual and still be like romantic, whether it's hetero-romantic, bi-romantic, or something else. So you can be asexual, not feel sexual attraction to other people, but you can still feel romantic attraction. So they could still both have a romantic relationship without it having to be a sexual relationship. I don't necessarily think I ship Thena, but I don't not ship it either. If it happened, I'd actually be super happy because of the, sapphic representation, but I don't need it to happen. I just wanted to make that distinction between aromantic and asexual. I think that Annabeth should be on the new Mark of Athena cover and not Percy and Jason. She was half of the book, and sure, there was an owl for Athena, but I think that Percy and Jason's fight was not the most important part. I 100% agree with you. You are super right. The fight between Percy and Jason happened in like one chapter. That's it. Annabeth's quest was what everything was leading up to. If Annabeth's quest hasn't happened, then we wouldn't have won the Heroes of Olympus. Like, Gaia would have won without the statue. If that fight between Percy and Jason hadn't happened, everything would have turned out the same. So yeah, it's just so much more important than Annabeth being on the cover than Percy and Jason. Honestly, it's an epic cover. I really like it, but I just don't think it's the right cover for that book. My unpopular opinions are that Rachel was more likable than Annabeth. It keeps going. And Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard saves way more hype. So let's do this part by part. Annabeth is less likable than Rachel. What can I say? I don't agree. Which is ironic because I'm doing a Rachel cosplay today. But anyhow, I just don't agree. I generally like Annabeth's character type more than Rachel, so that's probably just like a personal preference, so I can't say who is more likable. But in regards to Magnus Chase, I do think it deserves more hype because I don't think a lot of people like it that much, and I don't know why. So yeah, you are 50% right. Then we have Reina and Nico have the most traumatic backstory of the entire series, and to this I say, you're probably right, but when it comes to trauma, it's not like a competition, so we shouldn't have to be like, well, these two had it the worst. Honestly, Hazel had like a problematic mother, and she had a childhood being black in the south of the United States in like the 90s, 20s. So, I don't think we should start comparing, honestly. Then we have Sea of Monsters is underrated. It's everyone's least favorite in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, but I think it's better than The Lightning Thief. It has more monsters and Percy and Annabeth moments. And to this one I say, I do not agree, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. I do agree that it's the least liked book in the series, but I also think that's for a reason. To me, I like the first one better because it has more of an unpredictable element to it. If you've read The Odyssey or heard about it, then you know basically all of the monsters that they could possibly encounter in Sea of Monsters. And you know how they're gonna defeat Polyphemus because Odysseus has already done it, and they basically do the same thing with the I'm nobody. But yeah, I think that's really what took away from it a bit for me, because it was just like a retelling of the Odyssey, so it was a lot more predictable and formulaic than the other books. So I still think it's a great book and very important for the series as a whole. It's just more predictable than the other ones, so that's why I like it a little bit less. But there are more Percy and Annabeth moments, so I really appreciate that. Then we have Magnus Chase and the Ghost of Asgard isn't that bad. And honestly, I'd choose that over Trials of Apollo. And I agree, I didn't know so many people didn't like Magnus Chase and the Ghost of Asgard. Because it's my second or third favorite series from Rick Riordan, so I 100% agree. The gods should have offered the seven immortality or godhood like Percy, and they should have been more present in Blood of Olympus. And to this I say, I don't think you're 100% right. But you're not 100% wrong. I think that it would have been redundant if they'd offered the seven immortality and godhood, because they already did that in Percy Jackson, so it would feel kind of like redone. They maybe should have offered something, because I'm pretty sure they didn't offer anything. Like, Annabeth got to be the architect on Olympus, and she wasn't even like the main character like Percy was in the series, so they should have been offered something. And I don't know if the gods should have been more present in Blood of Olympus. It made more sense that they weren't. Okay, so here's a bunch. Rachel is one of the best characters in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. You're wrong. I don't think she's one of the best. I don't think she's one of the worst. I think she's one of the most mediocre. Yeah, sorry. Hazel is just as powerful as Percy, or even more, and to that I say I would agree. Because not only does she have her like elemental powers like Percy does over water, but over the earth and metals, but she has magic. So there's one more power. So like, if you count them, Hazel comes out on top. Nico and Leo are overrated. That's probably two. I still love the two of them though. Ethan Nakamura is underappreciated, and I don't know, I think I appreciate him just enough. So I wouldn't know the opinion of the fandom in general, but I honestly don't think so. The Stolls deserve more love in the series. I think they deserve more love from Rick because they seem like such interesting characters, and I can see like a tiny spin-off or a light a short novel being written about them, but they don't get the spotlight from Rick that they deserve, so I don't think they're either underrated or overrated. They're just there. So I can't really say a lot about their characters because we don't get to see a lot from them. I think that the Heroes of Olympus series was better than the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, personally because I loved all the characters, all the new characters, and the overall storyline. And to this, you've probably already figured out what my answer is gonna be, but I 100% disagree with you. I rewrote that whole series, so you can go check out that playlist of videos I made. I think my point of view on this is pretty clear. Next up we have Octavian is overhated. I agree, I don't know why people hate him so much. I mean, I get it, he's a villain, but he's also just like one guy that has done like one thing. We barely see him throughout the books. We see much more of Luke and other villains than of Octavian, so where is this hatred coming from? I honestly don't know. The climax of Blood of Olympus is one of the worst climaxes in the Riordanverse, second only to Ship of the Dead. I agree, but I think that it's actually worse than the climax of Ship of the Dead. I enjoyed Ship of the Dead, but it's true that like the rap battle, the compliment rap battle at the end was a little bit underwhelming, but I think that Blood of Olympus was overall worse. And then Rachel is amazing and underrated. We've been through this, you know my answer. Then we have, I wish Reyna didn't join the Hunters. Like, I get that she wants a home and to feel accepted, but she just joined forces with Camp Half-Blood and made new friends. She could retire, but leaving for the Hunters just seems wrong. Also, not every single girl has to join the Hunters. And this one, I agree and I disagree. I think that I like Reyna being in the Hunters, but I understand that the reasoning for it is like a bit iffy, because if you're a girl and you're single, meaning you don't have a partner, then you immediately get sorted into the Hunters. Like, if you want nothing to do with boys or girls or anyone in between, then you deserve to be in the Hunters. Like, you don't belong with everyone else. You're here in your own little group, excluded. If you don't want relationships, then you're here in this tight, nice little box that we've prepared for you. So I agree. I wish that if you were a girl who are single, you wouldn't immediately be put in that box. Like, you can still enjoy being in Camp Jupiter or Camp Half-Blood, even if you're like aromantic or asexual, or you just have reasons for joining the Hunters. Like, please let us single ladies be at Camp Half-Blood if we want to. Then we have, I don't ship Piper Beth, Jersey, it's Thena, Blitzstone, Clarice, and Selena. I don't know their ship name. Let me be clear, I have nothing against the LGBTQ+ or anyone who think the above should be shipped. I just like them as friends and find no reason or major chemistry to ship them. And honestly, I can't agree with you at all. I mean, obviously you're allowed to ship whoever you want. Do whatever you want. I just think that those couples specifically, some of those do have chemistry. Specifically Clarice and Selena, whose story and relationship is based off Patroclus and Achilles, very well known for being a gay couple. So I can't agree with you. I just can't. You don't have to ship them though. It's completely fine. Then we have Magnus, Chase, and Alex Fierro are 100 times better than Piper and Jason. I would agree because I ship them and I don't ship Piper and Jason, so that's that. It should have been the 7 saving the world at the end, not just Piper, Leo, and Jason, and the book shouldn't have been as focused only on those 3 characters. It was a prophecy of the 7, not of the 3. 100% agree with you. I don't know why he did that. It's because it should have come full circle because it was the 3 of them in The Lost Hero, and the climactic ending was basically the same in those 2 books. But I don't agree. I don't think it was a good decision at all. Like, Frank and Hazel were 100% basically forgotten after Son of Neptune. Grover should have had more screen time in Heroes of Olympus. I agree, I feel like a large part of the fandom agrees. We really missed him there. And then Percy Jackson is far better than Harry Potter. Sorry, Potterheads. I don't agree that it's 100 times better. I think it's better, obviously, because I like it better. But this rivalry between these 2 fandoms, please, can it stop? It's getting, like, out of hand. I've gotten so many comments about it, and I'm over it. Just, like, stop hitting each other, please. Before I do my outro, please go follow me on Instagram. Next time I do like a poll or something asking you guys to give me your opinions or stuff like that, I'm probably gonna do it on Instagram just because it's more accessible to you guys. So please go follow, and when I have enough followers there, I might do another one like this. So yeah. So that's the end of this video. Please leave a like if you like this. Comment down below if you agree or disagree with my opinions. Please be respectful about it. Just letting you know, I don't know if I came off a little like standoffish or mean in some of my opinions. I'm sorry if I did. That wasn't my intention. So please be respectful in the comments. Just have to say that thank you so much for commenting and leaving me your unpopular opinion. Even if I disagree with them, I'm 100% super thankful for you guys for leaving them there so I could share them with you guys today. So thank you, even if I disagree with some. Thank you guys for commenting. I always really appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click that bell button so you get notifications every time I post a new video. I post videos very frequently on this channel, and I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye!